How many times a day do you catch yourself making a never-ending to-do list or needlessly worrying about something that you have coming up the next day or a deadline or something like that? This causes a cycle of worry and stress causes negative impacts on your overall health and your body. So today I'm going to tell you about the three main topics that we're going to talk about how stress negatively impacts your body. So the first one that we're going to talk about is how stress can weaken your immune system. The next thing we're going to talk about is how stress is a big contributor to sadness and depression. And then we're going to talk about how stress can impact your sleep problems or cause sleep problems and then cause insomnia after that. So let's get started with the first thing, which the first thing we're going to talk about is how stress can cause your immune system to be deficient or not as useful. So what happens when you stress is your body creates hormones. Your body already has hormones, but whenever you stress, it causes your hormones to be kind of out of whack. So according to the Cleveland Clinic, whenever you stress, your body creates an abnormal amount of cortisol, which is a hormone that's already in your body, but to this amount, it's not good for you. So cortisol is not helpful to your immune system. So your immune system works by fighting off diseases and stuff like that, infections. And one way that does that is through the white blood cells that's created in your body naturally. So your body has white blood cells that go and detect the disease or infection or whatever it is in your body, and it destroys it. So that's how kind of a simplified version of how your immune system works. So whenever your body creates cortisol from stress, cortisol affects the amount of white blood cells that are being made. So if there's less white blood cells, then your immune system is not as effective. So therefore, you're more susceptible to diseases and infections. So that's how stress can impact your immune system. The next thing that we're going to talk about is how stress impacts you mentally, because we just talked about how it impacts you physically. And so we're talking about how stress negatively impacts your overall health, which is part of your mentality as well as physical. So according to the Mayo Clinic, it's long periods of stress that is when your body really gets hurt. So whenever you stress, like I said earlier, your body creates hormones. Long periods of stress, more hormones. Your hormones are active as long as you stress. So if you're stressed for like 2 weeks, your hormones are active for 2 weeks. And the reason this is a problem is because when you stress, we already covered that it makes like unnatural hormones that aren't supposed to be in your body or in like the numbers that is made from stress, they're not supposed to be in your body. Second, the way that your body knows how to feel is through neurotransmitters, which are in the brain. They start in the brain. So these are different neurotransmitters that are in the brain. They go to your body and they go back and forth and they like determine how you feel. If you're feeling happy, sad, your body communicates that with your body and then it goes up to your brain to tell you how you feel. So here's just some different like sections that neurotransmitters, and we'll talk about this sleep one later. But basically, whenever your hormones are active, it causes your neurotransmitters to be active as well. So your hormones are active all the time, which means your neurotransmitters are also active all the time. So, which means that you're overusing your neurotransmitters. They're not supposed to be used as much as all the time because nothing's supposed to be. That's just overuse. It's just like, for example, whenever a baseball player is playing baseball and they're used to like pitching every single game. That's why you have more than one pitcher, because if you have a pitcher that pitches every single game, they're going to throw out their arm, they're going to injure themselves, and then they won't be able to play. So the overuse of anything is not good. So the overuse of your neurotransmitters can cause you to feel feelings that wouldn't be normal, such as sadness, depression. So that's how the overuse of neurotransmitters can lead to that. Next, we're going to talk about the impact that stress has on your sleep patterns. So whenever everyone knows that on the daily, you need sleep at night so you can feel productive and awake during the day. So whenever you have like chronic stress, not chronic stress, but like long stressors, kind of how we were talking about last time, that can cause chronic insomnia. When you've been stressed for a long time, that can cause chronic insomnia. Insomnia is a sleep disorder that causes you to have trouble falling asleep at night, and then once you finally fall asleep, has trouble staying asleep. So that's what insomnia is. And ways that contribute to insomnia and sleep problems: current life stressors. So whenever you have like an assignment due, or for work, you have like a list of things you need to do and you only get half of them done. Well, even when you go home, you're still thinking about the other half stuff, all the things you have to do, even though you're not thinking about the stuff that you already got done. You're thinking about the stuff you have to get done. So you get in bed and your brain just doesn't shut off, and so you have trouble falling asleep. So then you go to sleep at like 3 a.m., maybe wake up multiple times because of your insomnia, and then that leads into the next day, which makes you less productive, and then it just kind of becomes a never-ending cycle of sleep problems, which then causes more stress because you're not getting enough sleep. So it's kind of a never-ending cycle. So that's how it negatively impacts your sleep. And so now let's do a little recap about how stress impacts you in the 3 different ways. So the first way we talked about was weakening your immune system. The next was your mental state. And then the last one we just talked about was sleep problems, which can lead to insomnia. So next time you stress about something, just remember how stress negatively impacts your body, and think about it kind of in a bigger world perspective, in that stress is normal, but to large amounts, it's not worth all of the negative effects that it has on your body, and kind of just take a step back, look at the bigger picture, and remember that there are things bigger in life, and that this thing can just be small and little, and to enjoy your life while you have it.